Now, how do you defend yourself if the only thing you have is a cane? All right, have you ever had to use a cane before? You might have had a surgery, or obviously if you're getting up there in age, guess what? You might be using this thing on a regular basis. Let's talk about ways that we can defend ourselves during a violent altercation, but also what to do before an altercation to make sure that you don't look like an easy victim.
First thing we want to make sure to do is when you're walking with your cane, try to walk as if you are not as injured as you may be, or as frail as even you may be. What does that mean? It means that you're walking with a good solid structure right here. There's a big difference that if I'm walking with my cane just like this, that is communicating a different message, as opposed if I'm kind of walking here like this. This looks like I'm much more vulnerable as opposed if I'm walking upright. So having the right structure is the first point that I want to make sure that we point on out. The next thing we want to make sure that we are able to do is Campbell the cane. All that means is that we're comfortable using the cane, and not just to walk with, but also to swing with as well. Now, we can do this in the seated position to make sure that we are very comfortable using the cane for a bunch of different striking kind of angles that we're going to be using a little bit later. But I want to make sure that we're just not used to holding it from the end right here. We can hold it from different parts, but we're also used to swinging the weapon to use it for self-defense purposes. The last thing that I want to say before we get down to the strikes with the cane is outside placement. All that means is that we find ourselves in a threatening situation and we have a threat that's right in front of us. We have this cane on the outside. If it's on the inside, it's jammed on up, I'm going to have problems picking it up, using it to defend myself. But as long as it's on the outside right here, now I can use it to strike a little bit more freely. What we don't want to do is have this cane in between us and the assailant or the attacker right here. This really limits the options that we have. But if it's on the outside, or what I call outside placement, then this gives us a little bit more flexibility and also space to use this properly in order to defend ourselves. There are 5 main combative movements or strikes that I like to teach with the cane. The first one is just simply what we call the jab. The jab can be used to the person's face, or even to the person's throat, or to the person's torso right here. How it's used is a striking motion we're thrusting on in. There's 2 ways I like to show this. The first thing is we use this almost like a pool cue to strike. The other thing we can do is by holding it firmly right here, using our whole body to thrust on in. But my point is that it's deceiving because, boom, it can fire very, very quickly, and you can deliver a very, very quick shot to the targets I just talked about earlier. The next technique that we have is the low line swing. All that means is that having this outside placement right here, we're going to be striking towards a person's kneecap right here by swinging the cane low, just like this. A lot of muscle, a lot of power can be brought up in this movement right here. It's good if we can use our body, meaning we're just not using our arm, we're using our whole body to swing through just like this. But this low line shot is great because it's not seen by the person very easily, and we can strike here and escape, or we can strike down here and also combo this up with other kinds of strikes. The third strike that we have here is what's called the Highline Swing. All that means is that we're swinging. Instead of a low line target, we're now going to a high line target, and I like to use the head for this. Very, very dangerous swing right here. As we can use this, our whole body is being used to really deliver the maximum amount of swing right here. So once again, as we have the outside position, this provides so much more momentum being brought up in this dangerous shot. All right, the fourth shot is probably one of my favorites. Don's gonna hold the pad just like this right in front of me, like I'm doing a groin kick, but instead I'm using it just as a straight shot up right to the groin right here. All I'm doing is flicking it right up. What I'd like to do to really increase the power is by doing this little trick right here. I put tension on the ground so it kind of cocks it right here. So when I slide it up, it's coming with even faster amount of speed right here. So as I do this, pop right here. This is a shot. And then as we said before, it's best that's comboed up with other tools, other moves as well. The fifth and last strike that we like to do with the cane right here is going right over the person's top of the head. This is an overhead swing. This one is not easily performed by everyone because it does need a little bit more strength, a little bit more coordination, but I love to teach this one. So as we do this, the groin strike right under, but this one comes right over the top right here. So it's the same exact line, but instead of going up this way, we're going up and over this way, just like this. As you can see, right here, you can muster up a lot of power in this nice little move right.
All right, the stationary drill is the first drill that I like to really have people do to really get used to all these strikes right here. Don's gonna put the pad in one of the 5 kind of target areas right here, and then I will respond with the particular strike to attack that area. Now, if you don't have the partner, that's what brand kits are for. All right, the second drill is what we call the movement drill. So the stationary drill kept us in one place, but the movement drill, all that means is Don's gonna be moving around, maybe in and out of my area or release around, so now I have to move and also strike as well. He's gonna do the exact same thing. He's gonna use a pad, or like I said, he's gonna use a cushion in order to use as a striking surface, and that's what I'm gonna use to strike my cane with. And so on and so forth. So make sure we do the stationary drill. I like to start out with that and then progressive movement drill.
Something that I really want to encourage everyone to do if you're using this on a regular basis is to use this as an exercise tool. You really need 2 things. You need your cane. You also need some kind of exercise band. When we talk about exercise band, there's a couple movements that I would love for you guys to go ahead and try on out. This is not just going to help you get used to using the cane, but it's also going to strengthen the muscles that are going to help you use the cane. So the first thing that we have is we put the band around one end just like this, and then we put the band around the other end just like this, and we're going to use it as a rowing kind of a motion right here. So as we do that, we simply step on the band just like this. I just want you guys to do some rowing motions, which focuses on the back muscles. But this is just a really easy, simple movement that we can do to not only get used to handling this cane, but also strengthen the muscles that are going to help us, like I said, use this cane. The second movement that we have right here is, if we have the exercise band and cane just like this, is to weave our body right through here. And we're going to be doing a chest press kind of a motion. So from right here, all we're doing is we are using this to gain some resistance for our pressing motion, just like this. Mainly focus on using the chest, but obviously the tricep muscles, even your delt or your shoulders, are being used in this motion as well.